So students, today we are going to start with a very interesting topic of business studies. But before introducing to you the topic, I will show you a video. Students, watch it very carefully. After that, I will ask you the questions which is based on this video. Students,
Kitchen working for you again. First thing is to pull everything out and sort out what you're still using and keeping, or could be given away. Then, put your kitchen keepers in groups, like with like. To make your kitchen work the best, you basically want to put your groups in the easiest place to use them. To do that, we've broken this kitchen up into basic activities: serving and preserving, washing and waste, prepping and cooking areas. By separating your activity areas, more people can work in the kitchen at the same time. Let's start with the serving. This is where it works best for dinnerware, glassware and serving bowls. Put the things you use often closer to the worktop, less so further away. This will make everyday items easy to reach. In the top drawer, cutlery inserts keep everything separate and easy to grab. A drawer for foil and wrap starts off the preserving section. The small boxes.
So students, this was the video I had shown to you. Now I'll ask you the question. My first question to you is that what all things did you observe in this video?
Crockery and tools.
Managing the things in better way.
Yes, very good students. Next question we have with us is, what was the lady in video trying to do or to show?
Arranging the things in better order.
Yes, arranging the things in a better order. Very good students. Moving ahead, we have, what do you call such arrangement of task involved?
Assembling the things, dividing in a proper way.
Yes, in a proper way. Very good, Pratibha. And what it is termed in the management?
Organization of resources.
Yes.
Organizing.
Yes, students, you're absolutely right. Today we will learn about the topic organizing. So, in our routine life also, we organize our various items like our wardrobe, our kitchen, and many more essentials. So first, we will talk about the meaning of organizing. So students, open your notebook and write down the meaning. I'm dictating to you and I'm writing the key highlights of this meaning. Organizing in management refers to the relation between people. I'm writing this key point. Relationship between people, work and resources. That means when we make a coordination between all these three activities, then we can term it as organizing, which basically all these items helps you to achieve the organizational goals or objectives. It is what you do before you do something so that when you do it, it is all not mixed up or messed up. Whenever you plan something, the plan cannot be fulfilled until and unless you will not implement to those things. And implementing can be possible when you will divide all the activities in a proper way so that in future they will not get to be messed up or mixed up. So organizing means identifying and grouping the activities. Again, I am talking about the identifying which activities needs to be performed to accomplish the goals, and you need to group, like you need to divide them in the organization and bringing together the physical. Here physical resources are these resources, which could be like these land, your capital and all. Then could be the financial resources, your funds, your money, and human resources, your personnel, the people who are working under you. to establish the most productive relations for the achievement of the organizational goals. This concept will be more clarified to you while looking at these pictures. So students, we have these four pictures of first is the salon shop, second is the mega store, number third is the departmental store, and fourth is apparels one. Now my question to you here is, students, what you are actually observing while looking at these pictures? What you actually finding?
All things are organized way, in a proper way.
Yes, these are very well organized. Like all the products, all the resources over here are organized in such a way that the stores will be able to achieve their goals, like of maximizing the sales. They need to attract the consumers. Consumers will also come to those doorsteps, to those of the stores which have the facility of organizing the material in a well-mannered behavior. Now, looking the definition of the organizing, what we actually found, students, open your notebooks and write down the definition of it. The first point, I'm writing the key highlights. Please, students, note, basically consider these of the words. Organizing is the process of identifying and grouping the work. Again, the same thing. You need to group the work, grouping the work which are going to be performed, defining and delegating. Delegating the two things. Number one is authority, the power, and the responsibilities. These are the duties, the obligations which the personas, managers, low-level staff have to perform, and establishing the relationships for the purpose of enabling people to work most effectively together in accomplishing the objectives. This definition was given by Lewis Allen. He has propounded this definition. Students, are you clear with the definition of organizing? Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Now my question to you is, name the authority in which it is obtained from the top level. You can again read the definition. It is written over here only. You can visualize this definition once and let me know the answer. Name the authority obtained from the top level. No one is able to? Yes, students?
Your superiors.
Yes? Yes.
Top level chief executive officers or...
Yes. Chief executive officer gives them, or your superiors give them. So here is what they are giving. Which kind of authority to you? Delegating the authority. Giving the power in your hands. So now we have the importance of organizing. Our first point is less or equal burden at all levels. So students, the whole of the task in an organization cannot be done by the top managers. They cannot perform all the tasks. So for that, the part of the workload needs to be divided among the middle and the lower level managers also. So top executives will be relieved of managing routine affairs and concentrate on effective administration. So look at the example here. I have shown you to clarify this point, division of work. Students, look at this picture very carefully. How many, the work is divided among how many persons?
5.
5. Now, I'll take an example of the company who is a car manufacturer. The work is divided among the 5% and the one who is specialized in their own task, the work is assigned to them only. Like one is doing the framing, another one siding, then painting. Yes, students, name the last two.
Inspection
Shipping.
and shipping.
And yes,
Shipping.
shipping. So yes, very good students. So in that way, the work is equally divided among all the 5 people and the workload will not be on the single person or not only the top management only. Now students, look at the next point, create the synergies. Students, before like explaining to this point, I will clarify you the meaning of synergies. Look at the blackboard very carefully. Students, 1 plus 1 is equals to 1 plus 1 is equals to
2.
2. Yes. Yes, it's clear, like you are also very well correct on your part, but 1 plus 1, if we talk about an organization point of view, it is 11. Like how, I'll clarify you. In an organization, when the work is properly divided among all the people, at last, every person will do their own task. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all will complete their own task. So that single work is divided among divided among the 11 people. The task is achieved at the right time, at the right place. That synergical effect, double effect, triple effect. This is what the organizing actually helps. And this is again basically I'm following the process. Like first the work is divided among the people, followed by people will coordinate. People here is employees. The personnel will coordinate with each other. And when they will coordinate, ultimately the employees will be satisfied with each other. They will be happily doing the work in a healthy atmosphere. And then this leads to what? Enhance the productivity. That means your sales will going to be increased, your production will going to be increased, result of which your cost will get reduced and profits will be increased. And when the company will be increasing the profits, earning the more and more profits, what the company wants to do, students, what they want to further go into. Yes, students, what they further wants to go into. It is written on the side only. Yes, they can go for the mergers. They can go for the acquisition of the enterprises which are not in that much of the profits, which are going into losses. They can acquire them as well. So students, I have given you the example of Idea plus Vodafone, which is a big merger actually happened in our India. Students, observe this picture very carefully. What is the symbol in between of both of the companies, Idea and Vodafone? What is shown? What you are observing? What is shown to you?
Mutual understanding or partnership.
Yes, mutual understanding, partnership. They are shaking the hands. That basically symbolizes they are merging. This is basically symbolizing what? Merging. So, next, moving ahead, we have establishes the accountability. Establishes the accountability. Students, first I will
बस कर
clarify. Yes.
ਇਹਦੇ ਚ ਨਾ
Yes, sir.
ਦੇਖੋ ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪੀਕੇ ਟੈਸਟਿੰਗ ਵਾਲੇ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੈ
हाँ जी, sir.
ਉਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਨਾ ਲਿਖੋ पीपीटी पे ना लिखो,
वो मैं पूछ लूं सर।
हाँ वो सिंपली पूछ लो। वो कारण क्या है, सारे सुनो। पीपीटी में लिखने का ना लिखने का कारण क्या है कि अकॉर्डिंग टू सिचुएशन हमें कई बार क्वेश्चन चेंज करना पड़ सकता है।
यस सर, यस सर।
लेकिन अगर लिखा होगा फिर तो हम उसके अकॉर्डिंगली ही चल पाएंगे, है ना, वो ठीक नहीं लगेगा फिर।
यस सर, ओके
तो
सर।
पीके टेस्टिंग हमेशा वर्बली ही करो। हाँ अगर कोई आपने सिचुएशन दिखानी है कोई, वो लिख सकते हो। कोई पिक्चर दिखानी है वो दिखा के खुद बोल सकते हो, ठीक है, वो काम हम पीपीटी से कर सकते हैं। लेकिन अगर सिंपल क्वेश्चन पूछने हैं तब वो अपना ये बोल के ही पूछो, ठीक है, वर्बली।
Okay, sir.
अच्छा, अब नेक्स्ट प्रॉब्लम क्या है आपके इसमें कि अगर बच्चे आंसर नहीं देते
Yes, sir.
तो हमने फिर उसको क्वेश्चन की वर्डिंग चेंज करके दोबारा से क्वेश्चन बोलना है
और simplified form में, sir.
और सिंप्लीफाइड। पहली बात तो आपका जो क्वेश्चन है वो पहली बार में ही सिंप्लीफाइड होना चाहिए, लेकिन
हाँ.
अगर फिर भी बच्चों को नहीं समझ में आता तब आप दोबारा से उसको सिंप्लीफाई करके दोबारा से क्वेश्चन फ्रेम करके फिर बोलो,
Yes, sir.
ठीक है।
सर मैंने तभी
अब
हिंट
ये
दिया था स्टूडेंट्स को.
अब आपका जो पहला क्वेश्चन था वो अथॉरिटी से क्या, टॉप लेवल से क्या होता है, वो तो मुझे भी नहीं समझ में आया।
अच्छा वो अथॉरिटी वाला सर,
हाँ
डेलीगेशन. ओके ओके ओके,
हाँ,
ठीक है सर.
है ना। तो क्वेश्चन बड़े सिंपल पूछो जिसका बच्चा भी जवाब दे सके। अगर बच्चे ने क्लास में 2 बार जवाब ना दिया तो वो थर्ड टाइम कोशिश ही नहीं करेगा,
ठीक है सर, ठीक है ठीक है. हाँ
ठीक है।
जी सर.
बच्चा डीमोटिवेट हो जाएगा ना फिर।
हाँ जी सर. आई टेक
हाँ,
केयर
तो
ऑफ दिस थिंग ऑल्सो सर.
क्वेश्चन सिंपल पूछो। हाँ, बाकी ठीक है, आपका लेसन ठीक ही
सर
होगा,
इस
कोई
बार
प्रॉब्लम नहीं।
रीइंफोर्समेंट ठीक थी मेरी.
हाँ, रीइंफोर्समेंट ठीक, ठीक,
ठीक है सर,
ठीक।
ओके सर. गुड मॉर्निंग स्टूडेंट्स.
Good morning, ma'am.
Very good morning. Students, today we are going to start a very interesting topic. But before starting the topic, I will ask you some questions. So don't give me collective responses. Okay, students? What are the basic necessities of life?
Food, clothes, and
Cloth
shelter.
shelter.
Yes, very good. How will you satisfy your needs?
Earning money.
Yes, by earning money. What we call that activity which are performed to satisfy human needs.
Economic activity.
Human
Human
activity.
activity.
Human activity. Very good. Students, today we are going to start human activities and its types. Students, all human beings, wherever they are required to perform some or other activity to satisfy their needs, they pursue different occupations to earn livelihood, to earn livelihood and to get some psychological satisfaction. Psychological satisfaction. The activities undertaken by human beings are known as human activities.
बच्चे आवाज ठीक नहीं आ रही।
The activities undertaken by human beings are known as human activities. A person gets up in the morning and performs various activities during the day, both as well as home as well as outside. Like students go to school, workers working in factory, employees working in office, entrepreneur, businessman working in an enterprise. All these activities in which we participate from morning till night are known as human activities. Next is types of human activities. There are two types of human activity, economic and non-economic. We studied one by one. Economic activities. Economic activities are related to production of wealth. These are related to production of wealth. Every human being undertakes some kind of work with a view to earn living. The aim of economic activity is to satisfy human wants. Activities which are undertaken by people with the objective of earning money are known as economic activities. These activities are concerned with the production, exchange, and distribution of goods and services. Students, look at this slide carefully. Here, a chef cooking in a restaurant and gets salary for his work. A lady working in restaurant and earning money. These are the examples of economic activities. Students, is the point clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then students, give me any one example of economic activity.
Businessman doing buying and selling.
Yes, very good. Next topic is types of economic activity. First is business. It refers to an activity that concerned with production and exchange of goods and services with the objective of earning profit. Students, write down the definition in your notebooks. According to Lewis, business is an activity. Business is an activity directed towards production, exchange, buying and selling. Buying and selling of goods and services. According to Lewis, business is an activity directed towards production, exchange, buying and selling of goods and services. Business is activity which the main objective is to earning profit. Next is characteristics of business. First is economic activity. It is undertaken with the objective of or aim of earning money or to earning profit and livelihood, not for psychological satisfaction. The main aim is to earning profit. Next characteristic is production of goods and services. Every business enterprise either produce or procure goods and services from producer. Goods may be consist of consumer goods, industrial goods, or any other. Next is sale and exchange. Production of goods and services for self-consumption is not a business. For example, a farmer cultivating crops for himself and for his family consumption, then it is not doing a business. But if a farmer produce crops, cultivating crops for selling in the market, then it is a business. It is not related to any other task. It is related to business because he earn money and earn profit by selling the crops to the market. Next is profit earning. The main purpose of business is earning profit. Its profit motive, if profit motive is missing, then a transaction is not considered as business transaction. As I gave you example in the farmer in the previous point, that if farmer selling crops in the market, then it is a business. He earns profit by selling the crops in the market. But if crops are produced for his consumption, for his family consumption, then it is not earning profit, then it is not related to business. These are the characteristics of business. Next point is profession. Profession, it refers to an
बस
activity.
कर ठीक है बच्चे बस कर ठीक है वेरी गुड ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੇ ਪਿਕਚਰਸ ਦਿਖਾਈਆਂ ਨੇ ਨਾ ਅਗਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਹ ਪਿਕਚਰਸ ਦਿਖਾ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛ ਲਈਏ ਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ ਪਿਕਚਰਸ ਕਿਆ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਅਗਲੀ ਥਰਡ ਸਲਾਈਡਸ ਦਿਖਾਈਆਂ ਨੇ ਸ਼ੈਫ ਵਾਲੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸ਼ੈਫ ਵਾਲੀ ਪਿਕਚਰ ਦਿਖਾਈ ਹੈ ਬੱਚੇ है ना। ਇੱਥੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛ ਲਓ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਇਹ क्या है क्या कर रहे हैं, है ना, वो ज़्यादा बेटर है। बाकी ठीक है बच्चे, वेरी गुड वेरी गुड। चलो भाई नेक्स्ट स्टूडेंट।
Good morning, students.
Good morning,
Good
ma'am.
morning. Students, good morning. Today we are going to learn a very interesting topic. But before that, I am going to ask you few questions. Anyone from you who knows the answer, just raise your hands and avoid collective responses. Students, my first question is, what do we call the person who sells the goods?
Seller.
Yes, very good. And what do we call the person who purchases the goods?
Buyer.
Buyer.
Very good. Which term refers to buying and selling of goods and services?
Trade.
Yes, very good. And in which kind of trade buying and selling is done within the country?
Internal.
Yeah, very good. So students, today we are going to learn about internal trade and its types. First of all, before starting internal trade, we need to understand about trade. As you all are aware, trade refers to buying and selling of goods and services. Whenever there is buying and selling of goods and services, there is a trade. Trade is of two types, that is internal trade and external trade. Internal trade, that is we are going to learn about internal trade. It is within the boundary of the country, and external trade, it consists of trade between two countries. It is the trade between two countries. It is further classified into export and import. Export trade and import trade. This is the second type of trade. And now our topic is internal trade. Internal trade. Shivani. Internal trade refers to buying and selling of goods and services within the boundaries of the country. In internal trade, payment is also made in the currency of the country, like the trade between two states, the trade between two persons residing in India. The trade between two Indians is referred to internal trade. In this picture, the trade is conducting, the persons are buying and selling of goods. So the internal trade is a trade which is within the boundaries of the country. There are two types of internal trade. The first one is wholesale trade. Wholesale trade, students, wholesale trade refers to the trade Wholesale trade refers to the trade in which goods are purchased and sold in bulk quantity. And the person who carries on wholesale trade is known as wholesaler. The person wholesaler is the link between manufacturer and retailer. He purchases the goods in bulk from the manufacturer and sells it to the retailer in small quantities. This is the warehouse of a wholesale trader in which he stores his product in bulk quantity by purchasing from the producer or manufacturer. Wholesaler performs various functions. He performs various functions in the internal trade. We will study one by one. The first function is assembly. A wholesaler collects goods from producers and assemble it in his warehouse. A wholesaler is a person who assembles the goods in his warehouse by purchasing the goods in bulk
quantities from the producer. So it is the first function of wholesale trade. The second function is storage. By purchasing goods from a producer, a wholesaler store all the bulk quantities of the goods in his warehouses and store them in it. There is a time lag between production and consumption. That there is a difference in production and consumption. The goods are not consumed at the same time when they are produced. First of all, goods are produced by manufacturer and there is a time difference between production and consumption. In order to compensate the time between production and consumption, the time difference is there is a time lag between it. The wholesaler store the products in his warehouses and releases the product to the consumer in bulk quantities whenever there is a demand of the product. So he will compensate the time lag between the two activities, that is production and consumption. The third function of wholesaler is transportation. A wholesaler, when the producer produces the goods, then it will be transported in bulk quantities to the wholesaler. They are transported to the warehouses of the wholesaler in bulk quantities. Then the wholesaler provides function of transporting the goods in small quantities to the retailer, to the retail shop in small quantities. So, with the transportation of goods in bulk quantities, there is economies of freight. The freight is safe because he will transfer the goods. He will transport the goods in bulk quantities from producer to his warehouse, and he also provides transport functions to the retail shop. When he transferred the goods in bulk quantities, the freight will be safe because he will pay less freight for the transporting of goods in bulk quantities. The next function of wholesaler is financing. Some retailers are not economically well. They are not able to perform the function of buying and selling the goods. So he provides the financing facility to the retailers. A wholesaler provides credit facility to retailers who are in need of financial assistance. He will send the goods, he will transfer the goods in small quantities to retailer by selling them on credit. When he will sell the goods on credit, the retailers will be beneficial. They can conduct the business in more efficient way. The next function of wholesaler is grading and packing. Students, before starting with my point, tell me why packaging is done. Why packaging is done?
To keep the product.
Yes, please.
To keep the product safe.
Yes, very good. Packaging is done to keep the product safe. To keep the product safe from deterioration. So wholesaler.
मानसी बस कर. ठीक है, वेरी गुड. बहुत अच्छा लेसन है. ठीक है. हाँ, गुड. चलो नेक्स्ट स्टूडेंट.
Thank you, sir.
नेक्स्ट स्टूडेंट.
Good morning, students. So today we will start with an interesting topic, but before this I will ask you a few questions. Okay, you have to answer. So if you know the answer, please raise your hands. Okay, what do you mean? What do you buy from a shop? Yes. What do you buy from a shop?
Things, products.
Right, things, very good, things or goods. What do you pay in return?
Money.
Right, very good, money. So how does the businessman comes to know about his profit and loss? How does a businessman comes to know about his profit and loss? By recording transactions, right? So where does a businessman record all these transactions? Where a businessman record all these transactions?
The financial statements.
Financial statement as well as in accounting books. Okay. So today we will start with an interesting topic which is accounting. So accounting is a technique of recording business dealings. Okay, we will do here meaning of accounting. Accounting is a technique of recording business dealings in an ordinary and in a logical way. And in a logical way, so that certain useful information, so that certain useful information may be checked time to time from such records. Its main motive is to check the profit and loss time to time by maintaining the records. So student, the meaning of
ਬੱਚੇ
the mean
ਮੇਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਸੁਣ ਹੁਣ ਦੇਖ ਸਾਰੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਪੀਪੀਟੀ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਲਿਖੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਸਾਰੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਬਲੈਕ ਬੋਰਡ ਤੇ ਲਿਖਣ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਫਾਇਦਾ
सर मैं क्योंकि ਉਹਦਾ ब्लैक बोर्ड लगाया इसीलिए
ਨਹੀਂ ਫਿਰ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਸਲਾਈਡ ਤੇ ਨਾ ਰੱਖੋ
ठीक है सर
ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਸਲਾਈਡ ਦੇਖੋ ਸਲਾਈਡ ਜਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਪੀਪੀਟੀ ਕਿਉਂ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਆਪਣਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਬਚ ਸਕੇ
ठीक है सर
है ना जो वही सेम डिटो लिखना फिर तो कोई फायदा नहीं होगा चलो
ठीक है सर
आगे कराओ
हाँ so the meaning of accounting is a technique. It is a kind of technique or a method of recording. Its main purpose is to record the transactions or business dealings, the dealings which occurred in a business in an ordinary and in a logical way. The main purpose of accounting is to record all the transactions that happened in the business so that certain useful information, certain which kind of useful information may be checked time to time. So that time to time there will be a check from such records. From these records, the business it is helpful for a businessman to check all the records. He can come to know about his profit and loss or the mishappenings or happenings occurred in his business. Its main objective or motive is to check the profit and loss. The same thing we have repeated that the main focus is to check the profit and loss time to time by maintaining such the records or such records. So it is useful for a businessman It helps a businessman to do his business in a specific or in a defined way, in a systematic way. He check all these entries time to time to check his profit and loss. So next we will do its definition. So the definition of accounting is according to Principles Board of AICPA, American Institute Certified Public Accounts. Accounting is a service activity. Accounting is a kind of service activity. Its main focus is to provide the service to its owner or its management or other interested parties related to it. Its function is to provide quantitative information. The main purpose or the function or the activity is to provide the information, the relevant or the quantitative information, preliminary financial in nature. It is which is financial in nature, related to the business, related to the finance, about economic entities. Entities is business, so that indeed intended to be useful in making economic decisions. If a businessman want to continue his business or want to wind up his business, it is financial. These kind of accounts are really helpful for the businessman to take the further decision. He can take the decision into his financial position according to the entries or the related circumstances. So next is recording. The main focus of the accounting is to record all the transactions that happen day by day or during the year. Suppose a person went to the shopkeeper to buy some goods or services, any kind of things he want to buy, he will buy the goods and in return he will pay the money. So the person, the businessman will record all this entry, that how much the customer had paid to him and how much profit he had earned. He will record these entries. Next is classifying. Then he will classify the entries according to their services or according to the stand that happened in the company. Classifying is to record all the first he recorded all these entries, then he will classify the entries. Summarizing. Next is summarizing. Now he will summarize the entries. If we can say it again that the profit and loss, he summarized the entries by doing profit and loss, that how much he had occurred profit or loss. So the next is
ठीक है
functions of
बस कर ठीक है वेरी गुड बस वही को प्रॉब्लम थी सेम नहीं लिखना आपने ठीक है
ठीक है
हाँ बाकी ठीक है हाँ चलो नेक्स्ट स्टूडेंट हाँ
ठीक है सर
हाँ
सर और मैं कह रही थी सर मैं ब्लैक बोर्ड लगाया था ना इसलिए मैंने लगा अभी ब्लैक बोर्ड पे करना पड़ेगा वो बाकी जो स्लाइड्स ना सो स्लाइड्स थ्रू करा
और तो स्लाइड लगाओ है ना
ठीक है सर
चलो नेक्स्ट स्टूडेंट
ओके सर
Good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Students, today we are going to start with very interesting topic. But before starting the topic, I will ask few questions. If you know the answer, then unmute your mic, but don't give collective responses. First question is, who produced goods with the motive of selling them to consumers?
A producer.
Yes, very good, producer. And from where you purchase goods of your daily use?
From market. From market.
Yes, very good, from market or local shop. But we call the person who sell goods with the motive of earning profits.
Seller. Seller.
Yes, very good, Manali. Seller. But we term the seller who purchase goods from the wholesalers and sell them directly to the ultimate consumer.
Retailer.
Yes, very good, Jasprit. Retailer. So students, today we are going to start with the topic retailers and their types. Retailers and types of retailers. So, students, write down in your notebook meaning of retailer. Retailers are the ones who sell goods directly to the consumers.
They act as a link between the wholesalers and the consumers. Retailers purchase goods.
अब ठीक
Write down the meaning of retailers on your notebook. Retailer is the one who sell goods directly to the consumers. They act as a link between the wholesaler and the consumers. Retailers purchase in large quantities from the wholesalers and sell them directly to the ultimate consumer. Look at the slide, students. The retailer purchase goods from the wholesalers. In this process, the first person is the seller or vendors. Sellers sell goods to the wholesalers and wholesalers sell at wholesale price to the retailers, and retailers finally send to the end consumers. Thus, retailers act as a link between the wholesalers and the consumers. Students, write down the derivative meaning of the word retailer. Retailer has been derived from the French word retail. Retail, which means to cut off. To cut off. It means that the retailer purchase goods from the wholesalers in large quantities and sell them by cutting off into small quantities to the ultimate consumer. They sell by cutting into small quantities. Okay, students, right? Have you written the derivative meaning of retailers? Have you written the meaning, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. So, write down the definition of retailer. According to James Stephenson. James Stephenson. James Stephenson says that retailer is a trading intermediary. Trading intermediary engaged in distribution of engaged in the distribution of consumer goods. Consumer goods. Retailer is the trading. Who is a retailer? Retailer is a trading intermediary. Intermediary means the middleman who is engaged in the distribution of consumer goods, who deals in the consumer goods. And the second, write down the second line, another line of the definition. Have you written till now the consumer goods? The second part of the definition is who deals in the consumer goods and who is in direct contact
बच्चे बस कर श्वेता बस कर
ultimate consumer.
बस कर
Yes, sir.
देखो
सर मैंने अभी स्लाइड प्रेजेंट ही नहीं करी.
हाँ तो वही तो बात है इतना टाइम निकल गया अभी तक स्लाइड्स नहीं आई यही तो मेरा पॉइंट है और जो एक स्लाइड आपने दिखाई भी है वो स्लाइड
Yes, sir.
आपने लेसन प्लान में नहीं लगाई
सर वहाँ पे जगह ही नहीं थी इतनी सारी स्लाइड्स सारी लगानी होती है.
जगह तो है आपने नहीं लगाई बोर्ड के नीचे जगह पड़ी है खाली वो किस लिए खाली है
मीनिंग के लिए सर.
हैं? वहाँ क्या लगेगा बोर्ड लगेगा
नहीं सर वहाँ पे मीनिंग वाला लगना है जो है
नहीं, इससे पहले जो आपने स्लाइड दिखाई थी होलसेलर वाली, प्रोड्यूसर वाली, वो स्लाइड इसमें
Yes,
नहीं
sir.
लगाई। हाँ, ये
नहीं
वाली
लगा सर।
इसमें
सर मुझे
कहाँ,
लगा कि एक बार
इसमें नहीं लगी
मैं
ना।
झगड़े नहीं। यस सर।
हाँ, तो अच्छा, एक तो बात ये है, ठीक है। दूसरा है कि जब हमने लेसन इंट्रोड्यूस करना है,
यस सर।
जब लेसन इंट्रोड्यूस करना है, उसी समय हमने ये पीपीटी पे भी आना चाहिए वो लेसन का नाम,
है सर।
ठीक है।
लिखा है सर पीपीटी पे।
मैं ये कह रहा हूँ
डिटेल।
कि जैसे ही आपने लेसन अनाउंस किया कि टुडे वी विल स्टडी या लर्न अबाउट,
सर आवाज नहीं आ रही है।
हेलो, मेरी आवाज आ रही है बच्चे?
यस सर अब बात।
हाँ, मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि जैसे ही हम अनाउंस करेंगे ना अपना लेसन कि टुडे वी विल स्टडी अबाउट, है ना, उसी टाइम
यस
आपने
सर।
पीपीटी में भी वो नाम आना चाहिए और उसी टाइम आपने ब्लैक बोर्ड पे भी लिखना है। ये सारे ही बच्चे ध्यान दो भाई।
सर
जैसे ही
आगे
हमने
बढ़ा
लेस
दीजिए थोड़ा सा।
हाँ, जैसे ही हमने लेसन अनाउंस करना है, वैसे ही जो नाम है लेसन का वो पीपीटी पे भी आना चाहिए और आपने उसी समय ब्लैक बोर्ड पे भी लिख देना है,
ठीक है सर।
ठीक है। हाँ, चलो बस करो।
Morning class.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
So today we will start with a very new topic. But before starting the topic, I'll ask you a few questions. Okay? Don't give collective answers. Just unmute your mic and give me the answer. So from where do you buy goods?
Market.
Market. Yes, very good. So in commerce, what we call the person who buy goods in large quantity and sell the goods to the ultimate consumer.
होलसेलर।
Sorry.
Retailer.
Retailer. Yes, very good. So our today's topic is retailer and its types. Retailer and its types. So first we will do the terminologies of retailer. The word retailing is origin from the French word which means to cut again. Cut again means the retailer buys the goods from the wholesaler in large quantity and cut the goods in small quantities and sell to the ultimate consumer. It exactly so and meaningful that retail trade is one that cut off smaller proportions of large lump of goods. The person who facilitates the retailing activities is known as retailer. So retailer is a person or a business enterprise who buys goods in large quantities and sale in small quantities to the ultimate consumers. Okay, next we will do the types of retailing. So there are two categories of retail trade. First is itinerant retailers and the second is fixed retailers. Itinerant retailers are those who don't have a fixed place to merchandise their products and they move from one place to another or one street to street to sell their products to the consumers. And the fixed retailers. Fixed retailers are those who have a permanent fixed shop and don't move from one place to another frequently. Sometimes we can say that fixed retailers move from one place to another, but as not frequently as itinerant retailers. First we will do the types of itinerant retailer and the first one is peddlers and hawkers. Peddlers and hawkers are those who sell their goods on a cycle, a handcart or a rickshaw or on their heads and move from one place to another to sell their products. What you can see in this picture? Can anyone? Yes. What you can see in both the pictures?
बच्चे आंसर दो.
No one can see it?
हो गए सारे.
Door to door selling
the goods.
vegetables and fruits.
Yes, very good. Very good. They are moving in the streets and selling their products. And the generally, okay, so tell me that you have also seen peddlers and hawkers in your street or in your residence. What type of products they sell normally?
Bangles, fruits, vegetables.
Yes. Anything else?
Children's toys.
Toys. वो जो हम गर्मियों में खाते हैं बहुत मजे से, वो भी आते हैं स्ट्रीट में.
Ice cream.
Yes, very good, ice cream. And generally they deal in non-standardized products and low value products such as toys, vegetables, fruits, fabrics, carpets, snacks and ice creams. Okay, understood? Next point पे चले.
That's good.
Okay. So next point is, sorry, market traders. Market traders are retailers who open their shops on fixed days or dates such as Saturday or Sunday. They didn't open their shop on regular basis. They deal in particular line of fabrics such as ready-made garments, toys, footwear or crockery. We also have seen on the streets that there are fixed days like Saturday or Sunday. These people place their shops in a particular area and they sell their products on these particular days. And alternatively, at other places they sell on like Wednesday or Thursday. Okay, you can see in these pictures that these types of stalls they have arranged or placed on the places, and there it is sale products like footwears or crockery. So can anyone tell me that which income group they mostly cater? We can see that they
Lower income group.
yes, very good. These they generally cater low income group customers and deal in price items of daily use. They sell daily use items and the prices of their products are comparatively low, and the people who have low income or we can say standard income they buy products from these traders. So next,
ठीक है बच्चे बस कर. हरमन बस कर. ठीक है, वेरी गुड. तू ना कटो कट 15 या 20 बार 100 कह लिया हाल तक. 5 मिनट होए ने हले. मैं काउंट कर रहा सी.
वर्क करूंगी इतने कोई.
हाँ. और पीके टेस्टिंग ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੱਚੇ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਨੂੰ ਵਧਾਓ ਥੋੜੇ ਜਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ. ਘੱਟੋ ਘੱਟ 3 ਜਾਂ 4 ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਤਾਂ ਮਿਨੀਮਮ ਹੋਣੇ ਹੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਨੇ.
सर मैं सोच रही थी कि ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ क्वेश्चन पे मैं टाइप्स ऑफ रिटेलर ਤੇ ਬਣਾਵਾਂਗਾ. रिटेलर ਤੇ ਤਾਂ ਸਰ
ਨਾ ਨਾ
क्वेश्चन
ਟਾਈਪਸ ਤਾਂ ਕਰਾਣੀਆਂ ਹੀ ਨੇ. ਟਾਈਪਸ ਤਾਂ ਕਰਾਣੀਆਂ ਹੀ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਬਣ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦਾ.
ਸਰ ਫਿਰ मैन्युफैक्चरर स्टार्ट करना पैना ਸੀ ਨਾ कि
हाँ हाँ तो
मैन्युफैक्चर
कर लो. क्या प्रॉब्लम है? तो कर लो, है ना. हाँ चलो ठीक है.
थैंक यू
नेक्स्ट